Welcome to this lecture on isometric projection. This lecture will give a brief introduction about isometric projection. Projection is classified into two types. One is parallel projection, second one is perspective projection. The parallel projection, again it is classified into orthographic projection and oblique projection. This lecture will focus only on orthographic projection because the isometric projection is a type of orthographic projection. The perspective projection, again it is classified into one point perspective, that is 1p, 2-point perspective and 3-point perspective. The orthographic projection is divided into two types. The first type is multi-view projection. The second type is axonometric projection. Multi-view projection will have four different methodology. First angle projection, second angle projection, third angle projection and fourth angle projection. Similarly, the axonometric projection will have three different methodologies: isometric projection, dimetric projection and trimetric projection. Now we are going to see the typical characteristics of orthographic projection. The name ortho is derived from the Greek terminology which means 90 degree. In orthographic projection, the rays of sight are always parallel. In orthographic projection, the plane of projection is always 90 degree. In orthographic projection, in a single projection, you get only two dimensions, that is length and width, or length or height. Consider this figure which is shown on the left side. It is a three-dimensional object. If I want to visualize the three-dimensional object through the multi-view projection, I need to integrate at least 3 to 4 views, that is front view, top view, right side views. If I integrate these views together, I can get the realistic image of three-dimensional object. Now we are going to see the typical characteristics of axonometric projection. Axonometric projection is a type of orthographic projection, whereas we can see the, or we can able to measure all the three dimensions in a single view. This picture will shows different methodologies which is available to solve the axonometric projection. The one is isometric, dimetric and trimetric. The difference between these three will be explained later. Now we are going to see the difference between isometric, dimetric and trimetric. The isometric means all the angles are equal, alpha equal to beta equal to gamma. In dimetric, two angles are equal, alpha equal to beta but not equal to gamma. In trimetric, none of the angles are equal. This image will gives a representation of isometric, dimetric and trimetric. You can see in isometric all the angles are equal, that is 120 degree. In dimetric two angles are equal, that is 105 degrees, whereas third angle is not equal, that is 150 degrees, slightly larger than that. In trimetric none of the angles are equal. You can see this figure, all the angles are different. We are going to see some terminologies related to isometric projection. Here we have shown some picture, that is a transparent cube where all the angles are equal, that is 120 degree. Here you can see line OA, line OB, line OC, which is known as isometric axis. Any line which is drawn parallel to these three axes OA, OB and OC are called as isometric lines. A plane which is made up of isometric lines is called isometric planes. The next topic is isometric scale. Before going into that, we know what is meant by scale and we know the types of the scale. It is of three types. One is enlarging scale, second one is reducing scale and third one is full scale. How it is classified? It is classified based upon the representative factor, which is abbreviated as RF. If RF is greater than 1, it is known as enlarging scale. If RF is less than 1, it is known as reducing scale. If RF is equal to 1 means that is called as full scale. The representative fraction or representative factor is defined by length in drawing to actual length. So now we are going to see the representative fraction for isometric scale, which is given here. It is a ratio between isometric length to true length. Now we are going to get the representative fraction for isometric scale. Consider this figure. It is a isometric view of cube. The cube is tilted in such a way that all the angles alpha, beta, gamma are equal to 120 degree. You can observe the top face of the cube, it is not looks as a square, rather than it looks like a rhombus. So in order to get the representative fraction, I am drawing a square over this top face. Here you can see I have made some assumption. This AOC is a one triangle. Then another assumption is AOC1 is another triangle. I am going to apply some trigonometry to get the value of representation here. In triangle AOC, that is a triangle of 30 degree. Here you can see the triangle AOC. We know the value of cos 30 degree equal to AO divided by AC, and we keep it this as equation number 1. Then we have moved on to the second triangle, assumption number 2, AOC1. We know the value cos 45 equal to AO divided by AC1. Equating this two equation will give a value of AC divided by AC1, which is cos 30 divided by cos 45. We know the values for cos 30 as well as cos 45. Substituting the value in this equation, we will get a value of 0.815, which is approximated as 0.82. This 0.82 is nothing but a representation factor for isometric scale. Now I am going to give some tips to solve the problem in isometric projection. In examination, there are two different types of problems may come. The first type is, which is shown here. This problem is taken from the textbook. Draw the isometric view of a frustum of a cone of height 30 mm. Forget about the dimensions. Here you can see, draw the isometric view. This word is very important. If the problem contains the word isometric view, we have to go with the actual length, that is 30 mm, 34 mm, 20 mm, 50 mm and 10 mm. We can solve the problem by using the given dimension, that is actual length. There are another kind of problem like this. Here you can read the last line of this problem. Draw the isometric projection of a combined solid. Here you have to be very careful. If the problem contains the isometric projection, draw the isometric projection means you have to convert the length which is given in the problem to isometric length. Then only you have to solve the problem. For converting, we know the formula, that is isometric length equal to 0.82 into true length, that is given length. So by converting 40 mm, it will have 32.8 mm. Similarly, 20 will give 16.4 and so on, and other values. This is the very simplest method. By using a calculator, we can get the isometric length in fraction of seconds. There are another method which is called pictorial method. If I want to convert the full length of 40 mm into isometric length, what I can do is draw a horizontal line here. Wait, I will take the pointer. Yes, draw a horizontal line like this. Choose any point as origin. From this origin, draw an inclined line of 30 degree. From the same origin, draw an inclined line of 45 degrees. In 45-degree inclined line, you have to mark 40 mm. By keeping the scale like this, you have to mark 40 mm. From this 40 mm, just draw a perpendicular line where it intersects with this 30-degree inclined line. That is a corresponding length, isometric length for 40 mm. So you have to take a compass, one leg of compass here and another leg of compass here. You can start drawing the problem. So this is a important point to be remembered before going to solve the problem. That's all about the introduction to isometric projection. Thanks for watching.